You know what that is? That is a lumber saw. See that big crank right there? That would spin, driven by a steam motor off that pulley. It would spin, and as that spun, then all of this mechanism here would slide up and down, and there would be a series of saw blades inside. There's still some in there. You see them right there? Oh. See the saw blades in there? Yeah. That would cut several boards at one time. It looks like on a couple layers. You see up here, that wheel there with the, looks like teeth on it almost looks like a really wide gear. Yeah. That would grip the log and drive it in. And then the blades would go up and down, up and down, up and down. And they would cut all those boards at one time, and continuous. You could really produce a lot of lumber in the day. And this here is where a lot of the waste would come out. Look at all these belts and belt drives and pulleys and gears. And it almost looks steampunkish, but it's not, because it's an actual real piece of machinery. It's not some artistic rendition of what somebody's imagination thought it might ought to be, or what would look cool. Everything here, including that little cylinder right there that would push on that lever, which would push that block of wood up against the pulleys and act as a brake to stop the saw. We have such a rich history of machinery. It's just amazing to me, that really cool stuff that you can find just rusting away in parks. This is in a roadside park where there used to be a sawmill. There's your maker. These gang saws are amazing to watch run. I've seen them run at places like Greenfield Village in Detroit, well actually in Dearborn, Michigan, not too far from Detroit. Greenfield Village is right by the Henry Ford Museum, and it's got some really, really cool functioning stuff. But you think of all the physics and engineering that went into this. Pretty amazing stuff. These things were built in Germany, and you know, they were built in 1950, 1960. Somewhere in that time period, and so somewhere in the 50s, this thing was installed in a mill. So essentially, the saw worked like a giant bread slicer. Raw logs entered one end and fed into the two feed rollers, which gripped the log through the saw. Sliced boards cut by the saw into specific sizes exited the other end, and it was called a reciprocating saw because it could repeat this procedure at a feed speed of 6 foot to 40 foot per minute. That's a lot of lumber. Let's take a look around the park, see what else we can find. Well, it seems these days no park is free from this. Got us a squatter here. Somebody's decided just to pitch a tent in the park and live here. Well, you know, that's the way it is these days. This is one of the cleaner camps I've seen. Boy, a lot of them are just pits, but this guy seems to keep his camp pretty clean, so he's probably not going to be messed with much. But there's something really cool right next to his tent. Let's go take a look at it. And here we go. This is in honor of Captain M and Elizabeth Thomas, Martin, and Patricia. It's I don't know if you can read that, but it's the Silver Point, Bremerton, Seattle, and other points, Madison, by steamboat, the Washington route. That's kind of cool. Carved out of a rock there, and it looks like a steering wheel to a steamboat. Yeah, that's kind of a cool thing to see in the park.